ever think about how the world needs more people with the mentor mentality? People of all kinds and backgrounds that are willing to care unselfishly about other people, support people, teach people, and serve people. Well, the truth is, as human beings, we all have a potential and purpose that matters. That potential and purpose extends to our relationships with other human beings. As the founder of Mentorship Revolution, I believe that being a mentor is not just a career, but in actuality is a person that is willing to make intentional choices, intentional sacrifices, and contribute to the world and environment through intentional actions and living. Once we learn as human beings to nurture and encourage the purpose we have as individuals, we begin to understand that we can do the same for others. This is also known as the butterfly effect, but I define this as mentorship. Mentorship Revolution was designed to be a new kind of community. Let me emphasize community. MR desires to thrive online and in the real world and society. We desire to reach minds and lives through simple and intentional words and actions. I am excited that you have joined us today. Right now, if you are still wondering what this podcast holds or why this podcast should even be relevant to you, I will ease your mind by informing you that this podcast will be juicy and full of worthy news and information. The guests on this podcast will be original, unique, and experienced, so please stay tuned. Hello, everyone. In this episode today on the MR Podcast, I want to come to you today, and sorry about the delay. I know it has been a while since I have last been on. Right now, I am on vacation in Houston, Texas, and out of my home state, so kind of, enjoying my vacation and everything, and I've been upkeeping the website, so make sure that you visit the website where you can find everything that is known to Mentorship Revolution. For the month of July, MR has been doing the affirmation series, part 8, the detachment process. And I have created an entire package for anyone who is interested. You can always contact us directly, but it is on sale right now. So please take advantage of this deal that is going on. And if you purchase this package, you will get the affirmation series, tools, materials, content, and resources for every month for the rest of 2019. So please email us directly if you are interested and visit the website, and you can always leave and contact information there and leave comments, letting us know what you need. So for this episode, I want to talk more about, of course, you already know, the detachment process. The detachment process. This is what we have been talking about for the month of July. It's been on the website. I've been doing announcements. It's been on the Facebook page, So I'm finally getting to you so that we can talk more on this subject of the detachment process. And what I think is interesting about detachment is that we don't like to use that word, or it's not a word that we think of when we think of healthy type of living. We don't think of detachment as being healthy. We don't think of detachment as being crucial. But in today's world, I think that it's very important that we understand detachment is not negative. And detachment is really about you being able to turn inward and being able to put boundaries around yourself, boundaries around your life that protect you from negative energies, then protect you from wasting time and protect you from being burdened by the things that's going on in the world today in society. So, and I think some personalities are more prone to detachment naturally, and I think some personalities may not be personalities that really find detachment necessary. But I really do think that detachment is something that we should all develop as a skill, because in today's world, there are so many things grasping for our time or attention, and we need to know what to attach to, and how to attach, when to attach, and how to detach. So I have some key points that I want to talk about. Number one, detaching isn't wrong. It is not wrong to detach. Detaching is necessary because detaching is really done for the upkeep of you, the upholding of who you are. So detaching is kind of like pretty much, it's not wrong, even though it may sound like a word you use for negative reasons. Detaching, in the sense that I am using it for this affirmation series, is not something that we should be ashamed of or that we should be afraid to speak to others about in conversation. Point number two, detachment isn't harmful. Now, the way that detachment can be viewed as harmful is that detachment is you being unable to express yourself emotionally, you being unable to communicate, you being unable to feel, you being numb to life, you being numb to the things that's happening to you, to the things that you have to do. That's the negative form of attachment, and that is not the sense that I'm using it for this affirmation series. Detachment isn't harmful in the sense that I'm using it. And just like there's a side of something that is worth mentioning, there's also a side of something that's kind of like, that's not the way that you want it to be mentioned. So in this sense, if you are just joining us and you're like, why is she speaking about detachment being something that's helpful? You have to understand that I'm not talking about detachment as far as like isolation or you being unable to, be happy or you being unable to deal with reality. I'm talking about detachment in the sense of, as the picture that I was using as like the model picture for this series, is you owning things and not letting things own you. That's kind of how you have to think of it, is that by you detaching, you realize you have to know how to adapt, and you have to be able to realize that you cannot control everything. So you have to have that level of detachment, of control. Detachment is really about self-control. So number three, detaching is self-care. I know you may be, new to this idea, but detachment really is you caring for yourself. By you detaching, you're able to listen to yourself. You're able to spend time on yourself. You're able to dote on yourself, and you're able to do the things that you enjoy doing. But first, you have to detach from doing what others have told you to do, what the world is telling you, and you have to really go into your hobbies, go into your interests, and do the things that makes you feel good, and just let go and let loose of all the other things seeking to grab you and to grab hold of you. So detachment is really self-care. Detachment allows for rest, release, and relaxation. Let me repeat. Detachment allows for rest, release, and relaxation. All of those are crucial to the human existence. We need to rest. We need to release. We deal with emotions. We deal with energies. And we also have to relax. That means that we have to allow our body to rest and allow our souls to rest and just allow ourselves to just be, instead of having to do or having to live up to something. Detachment is you pretty much just being who you are and letting life lead you, and trusting life again. Point number 5, detachment helps you as you make choices and deal with change. If you detach, you will find what you want. Sometimes if you're too attached to other things, other people, and other objects, material things, you will find that you don't really know a lot about yourself, or you don't know yourself the way that you should know yourself. So by you detaching, you will see that you make better choices. You will see that you trust your intuition more. You will find intuition more relevant to you because you will really be living a life that you are able to say, this is the life that I want to live. If this person walked away, if this person rejects me, if this person doesn't approve of me, if I lose these material things today, I will still say that I have no regrets, because I know that my self-worth and who I am is not attached to anything, because I am understanding who you are as a human being, understanding who you are because of the Creator. That's what detachment is. So it helps you make better choices, and detachment helps you deal with change, because by you not being so attached to having that control of how everything should go, you're allowed to trust the day by day flow of life, and life is going to change. Things are prone to change. So by you being detached from always getting a specific result, that's the blessing and benefit of detaching. Detachment is part of you becoming a better individual, publicly and privately. Let me repeat. Detachment is part of you becoming a better individual, publicly and privately. It's really important, because I know I've talked a lot about how detachment is crucial to yourself. So it's very much like a personal thing, detachment. It's about caring for your soul, caring for your heart, caring for your, creating positive energy within you so that you can express it and manifest it. But really, detachment also has its public benefits, because whatever work you're doing right now in your life, whatever you're doing for yourself, however your spiritual life is, you have to understand that it manifests in your relationship. You can't, who you are personally and individually also deals with who you are in your relationships. So if you're spending that time on yourself, and you're working on your health, and you're working on your happiness, and you're working on letting go of certain negativity in your life, whether it's the past, whether it's the way people have done you, whether it's your childhood, you'll realize that publicly you're showing up better. Your relationships are better, and you're also finding that you have more self-respect, so people respect you more, and you're living a more respectable life, and you find that you have more positive energy to give, and you can be a little more selfless in a sense, so that others really can appreciate you and others can speak well of you. Not that you depend on that all the time, but it's just that publicly you will see yourself succeeding, you will see yourself thriving. So it's a public and a private victory. So detachment is something else. I'm going to be honest with you. Detachment is like, I'm really constantly growing in this area of knowledge myself, So detachment is something that's very interesting. That's why I spent the whole month of July talking about detachment, because it's something that you have to elaborate on. I've done weekly challenges on detachment, I've also, I created a whole series. I've created affirmations, and I'm only looking at detachment in the positive sense. I'm not looking at it in the sense of what is, not so good to be, in the sense that you don't want to be detached from. There's a certain way to think of detachment. And the sense that I'm thinking of detachment is when you're evolving. I'm not thinking of it in the sense of where you're stuck and you're in denial. I'm not thinking of that kind of detachment. So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I have so much more coming. Right now, like I said, I'm on vacation. So if it doesn't sound the way you think it should sound, my bad. I really enjoyed talking to you all about the detachment process. That was the theme, detachment, and I named Affirmation Series Part 8, The Detachment Process. Make sure you visit mentorshiprevolution.com. Everything that you will want to know about detachment is there. We have an entire package that we're talking about the detachment, giving you materials, resources, and content. Thank you for tuning into this episode. May God bless you. Have a great day.